Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the DRF race of the day for Thursday, September the 26th. Stakes action in New York. Let's take a look at the field for race number 6 at Belmont at the Big A. It's the $125,000 John Hettinger Stakes. These are New York-bred fillies and mares going 1.1 miles on the turf. We're expecting some wet weather in New York, so horses on the outside in here, 10 on down to 13, are main track onlys. We're hoping this race stays on the turf, and if it does, the 3 Silver Skillet, 2-1 on the morning line, should show a little more speed than last time.
See if she can bounce back. Didn't run well in the Yaddo last time. Didn't get forward from the start, but ultimately just didn't really fire any kind of a good shot in there. I know she's better than that. We'll see if she gets a different trip this time and is able to rebound.
She has won from off the pace in the past, but her recent form indicates that she's a new horse and perhaps a better horse when she's on the lead. Let's throw up the TimeformUS pace projector. TimeformUS has Moon Age Daydream, a pace-pressing winner of the Yaddo, on the lead. I think Silver Skillet is going to make the front, A, because she's better with that running style, and B, because I think Moon Age Daydream's connections have to be at least a little bit concerned about this extra distance.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think both of them want to be, forward early in this race, but I'm with you. I sort of feel like the 3 is probably going to be a little more aggressive this time under Rosario. I also feel like there's a chance that you get some speed out of the number 6 here. Whatlovelookslike. Second off the layoff for Pletcher and Dylan Davis. This horse has plenty of early speed, and the distance is no issue for her.
If this pace gets hot, and there is a chance, keep an eye on the 5, Can't Fool Me. You'll note the LP flag over her chiclet. That designates that Can't Fool Me has the fastest TimeformUS late pace rating. We'll start things off with the number 1, Busy Morning, another horse that would benefit from a strong pace. Here she is winning a first-level New York-bred allowance at Saratoga over their inner turf course. It was a solid performance as the favorite, Mike. It looks like this mare is getting better. She might get the right race flow in here, but it's a pretty big step up from a first-level state-bred allowance to a state-bred stake.
It's just a much tougher spot for her, but she's really, really good winning this race. 2 starts back when they stretched her out for her second start off a little layoff there. She had a really tough trip in that race and ran a lot better than it looks. And last time she got a clean one under IRAD, just sort of sat on the outside. I thought she won that race very convincingly. She'll probably have to run better than that here. She also loses IRAD to one of the favorites in here, but this horse ran very well last time.
Marat Ortiz will jump to the 2, Marvelous Maud, who he rode last time out to a runner-up effort in the Yaddo. Marvelous Maud is a horse that would benefit from a fast pace. I think you can make the argument, even though if TimeformUS has the 5 as the late-to-pace horse, the Marvelous Maud might be the best closer in this race. She's been consistent in this division for a very long time.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. No disrespect to the 5, who's in good form, but I think Marvelous Maud is the best closer in the race, and maybe she just gets a little bit of a better trip here, Dan, than she got in the Yaddo last time. Breaking from post 8, it's not like that pace really went in front of her, and I just had to take her back to avoid getting caught wide on the first turn. So he gave away some position. She ran at the end. I thought it was a good performance. 2 starts back, also in a paceless race against only 3 others. Had no chance in that race. She's way better than her recent form makes her look, and I think there's a different setup coming for her this time.
The Silver Skillet won in gate-to-wire fashion 3 back in an off-turf stakes race, then scored on the turf in the Port Washington going gate-to-wire over this course at 1 1/16. We talked about her in the pace portion of the presentation, and last time out, she just couldn't get as forwardly placed as she wants to be. I think Joel Rosario, if he breaks, goes to the front with her, and if she runs her race 2 back, she's going to be real tough. There might be some pressure, though, and she has to go a little farther.
Yeah, she does. She got to go 9 furlongs this time, and it's also at least worth pointing out, she was an easy winner of the Port Washington 2 starts back, but that's, a 4-horse field. She's absolutely loose on a slow pace in there. It was almost impossible for her to lose that race, Dan. And otherwise, her turf form is very strong, and she doesn't need the lead to be effective, but it's not like she's a total standout in this field. It's your call how short you want to go on her as far as price goes, because, listen, let's be honest, her last race was not good.
She's also a proven commodity over wet going, and that could be key given the weather forecast. The 4 is Snowy Evening, another late runner that would benefit from a fast pace, but I thought she had a fast pace last time to run at over a wet turf course at Saratoga and just couldn't finish with Can't Fool Me. She's been beaten by several of these in the past, 30-1 on good connections.
She's just lost me so far this year. And I'm a fan of hers. I thought she was really starting to get better towards the end of last year. She showed that 9 furlongs is no issue for her. And I really expected her to sort of really improve this year at 4. And so far, that just hasn't happened. I don't know what to really say about her now. 2 starts back at Saratoga when they stepped out of the stakes race. I really felt like that was a spot for her to really take a step forward and run a good race. And she just didn't do it. Did not run well again last time. She sort of lost me at a big price. I'd love to stay positive on her and get her in there somewhere at a price, Dan, but her recent form's just not good.
It's been a successful 5-year-old campaign for the number 5 Can't Fool Me. 4 starts, 4 on the board finishes, 2 wins, 6 figures in earnings, and this victory last time out at Saratoga. Second level allowance, she gets a fast pace, she gets to the outside, she kicks on down. I thought this was a nice effort for Can't Fool Me, who has obviously come back to the races in good form in 2024. Now she's going to do it against tougher horses.
Yeah, I mean, she deserves this chance to step up in class, though. Every one of her starts so far this year as a 5-year-old is a good effort. 9 furlongs, no issue for her. She absolutely hammers this field. It's not a great N2X field here, Dan. She got a really nice in-out trip from off the pace, but she also took another step forward in there. It's hard to knock her current form. She's been real good.
What Love Looks Like, the number 6, does look like kind of the dirtied up horse in this race. She does handle a wet turf course, as we saw in the 2023 edition of the Port Washington, where she was a pace pressing winner. And Todd Pletcher returned her off a lengthy layoff in the Yaddo last time out, and she ran just fine to be beaten a length and a half. Her race 2 starts back was against better horses going a longer distance, but 1 1/8 is very good for her, and she could sit the right trip, either sitting second or third, or if no one wants the lead, she could take it.
Yeah, I could see her being more forward this time. They didn't really get forward position with her off the layoff in the Yaddo last time. Lost a little bit of position on the backstretch. After that, everything I think worked out pretty well for her, Dan. And she did have the jump on Marvelous Maud in that spot, but just sort of got outkicked by Marvelous Maud late. But again, it was her first start off the layoff. Her races last year make her a serious contender in here. There could be a different trip coming too.
Was last time the time for the 7 Moon Age Daydream, who beat 3 of these in the Yaddo at 13-1 at Saratoga. They've spent much of her career concentrating on shorter distance races. They stretched her out to 1.16 in here, and Jose Ortiz did get her to settle going into the first turn. A pretty good trip off of Venti Valentine, who's a dirt horse. She takes the lead in the stretch. She holds off all comers despite drifting out a little bit. All in all, it's a likable performance for Moon Age Daydream, who did some heavy lifting up front. Now she has to go farther.
Yeah, she does. I thought she ran well in here. I also felt like she got the best trip in the race, and she's got some horses. You see the Marvelous Maud there, and What Love Looks Like sort of trying to close on her late. They couldn't really get there. I don't really want to knock her because I do think she's a good horse, but she was a great price last time and took advantage of a perfect trip. And you'll be asked to take a shorter price in here.
Pratt takes them out this time on the 7 Moon Age Daydream. Power and Glory is the number 8. Her last 2 turf races, okay. 2 starts back at Monmouth. She ran well for second, but that was a non-winner's a 2-life open claimer against much weaker horses. Last time out's just another throwout against open first level allowance horses. She ran 1 3/8 against a good field. The runner-up was second in the Jockey Club Oaks in her subsequent start with a 92 buyer. Just curious where she fits from a class standpoint.
Yeah, she's 50-1 on the line for a reason. She's never won on turf. She's never run a particularly compelling race on the grass, and it just looks like she's in over her head here.
The 9 is Scoring Chance. She'll be trying turf for the first time for trainer Jorge Abreu. Don't really love the good magics on turf. Only 6% winners with first-time turf runners. Dam 0 for 3 on the surface. She has foaled a couple of turf winners. Not a ton of turf form in here, but another horse that might show a little bit of early ability, stretching out off a couple of sprint races.
Yeah, I guess they could just come out running from the outside post stand and sort of be part of this pace in here. Like you, I didn't really see enough as far as her pedigree goes to suggest that she's going to be better on the grass. And just, based on her first 5 starts, she has to be way better on the grass.
Horses on the also eligible list are up next, and they're all entered for main track only. Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Top pick time for our Thursday race of the day. It's the John Hettinger. You're going Marvelous Maud. I do think there's a chance this pace heats up significantly. This is a very consistent horse who might be cycling back to her best. Third start off a spring layoff.
Yeah, I think she's been compromised so far this year as a 6-year-old, starting out 0 for 3, but I think she's run fine in all those races, and I think this pace could be there for her. 9 furlongs, no issue for her, and I like she has an inside draw this time.
Concerned that, as Mike mentioned, that Moon Age Daydream was 13-1 last time, and she'll be shorter, much shorter this time, but I wonder how much shorter. She's 4-1 on the line. Maybe she drifts a little bit because people might not be sure about her ability at this distance. I thought she ran well last time out, and she showed she could rate a little bit if necessary, so maybe she could sit second or third with the run. I'd take 9-2. 7623 for me, 2753 for Mike, and the $125,000 John Hettinger. It's your Thursday DRF race of the day. It's the 6th at Belmont at the Big A. Good luck. Hey buddy, you look like you're in need of a winner, and just remember, if you like and subscribe right over here, you can get all of the great content on DRF.com, including Race of the Day, stakes previews, and lots more, featuring me and my superb selections. Trust me, you're not going to regret it.